everyone. Welcome to another live interview session here at the PAME Code Facebook group's Season of Courage. We have a very special guest today. He's a training master and motivational speaker from Saudi Arabia. And he's an internet sensation. He has over 46,000 followers on social media. And today he joined us to share with us how to build the courage to stay fit and healthy. I'm sure we'll learn so much from him. So without further ado, let's welcome my brother-in-law, Abu Mussab Wajdi Akkari. Hello, Wajdi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, such a fancy introduction. I'm baffled by this introduction.
Well, I'm just speaking the truth, but thank you for joining us. I know you're a health and fitness enthusiast, and you have your own website and followers, talking about staying fit and healthy. But before we get into that topic, I just wanted to ask you, first question that I ask all my guests, what does courage mean to you?
That's a good question. Like many other terms, I guess everyone would have his own personal, subjective input on any given definition or any given term, I guess based on someone's life experiences. And so if, in my humble opinion, courage is basically having the resolve and the ability and the confidence and the strength to overcome whatever obstacles or hurdles come your way. Being stronger than your issues, being stronger than the problems, being stronger than the difficulties you will inevitably face in life. Having that motive to say, you know what, I will follow through and I will progress and I will move on.
Right. So having that strength to pick yourself up and move on regardless of the difficulties that you face. And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there, let's go into the topic with staying fit and healthy. They want to stay fit and healthy, but they need to find the courage to stay fit and healthy. What's stopping people from doing that?
Oh, what's stopping people is our lifestyles. We know human beings have evolved in so many ways positively, and they've also evolved in so many ways negatively. And one of the things is because of the Internet of Things and how everything is done via the digital world. This takes away from the people's physical involvement in things, and it provides them with a platform to be lazy. It's okay to be lazy because they may actually be very efficient and they may be very productive while sitting on a behind a screen all day, which is cool. There's no harm in that. However, one must strike balance, and so if a person does not pay attention to that, the nature of their lifestyle may disallow them from giving their body their right, because the body has a right over you that you need to maintain it. Otherwise, with passage of time, when you grow older, it's going to tax you. It's going to tax you for your negligence throughout. And so that's the first reason. The second reason is that sometimes their peer or the friend, the circle of friends that a person is in is not one that is health conscious, and so they don't help the person make that difficult move. And of course, last but not least, the food, the delicious sweets that are being promoted and advertised every day. A person really wants to be fit, but but that cheesecake though. And so they say the cheesecake, and then the cheesecake wins.
The cheesecake always wins.
Not with me, but okay.
So you do need to find the courage to actually overcome these temptations, if you like. So you mentioned something around lifestyle, with the technology encouraging people to be lazy, the social influence, and also the media influence as well, influencing your lifestyle and your diet. So how do you conquer these? How do you tackle these distractions, if you like, to stay fit and healthy?
Well, my personal experience was one where I grew up being extremely athletic. It's just ever since I was a kid, I don't remember any sport that I didn't play. Skiing, basketball, volleyball. Even though I'm short, football, tennis, table tennis. I was just into swimming. The whole thing, meant a lot to me. And my physical condition was always one where I was in shape. When I moved from the States to Saudi Arabia, And once you get married and have kids, you don't have the same drive, or you don't even have the same time. You don't have time availability to stay as active. And so at some point I became laxed, and my body didn't react immediately. But then after some time, I saw a change. Like for once, I saw a belly. And the first time I saw my belly, it destroyed me. And it took me some time, and that's really the thing that drove the courage, to kick in. At some point I said, okay, you know what, this is cool, but enough is enough. And I made a serious change. I enrolled in a gym. I started watching my habits. For example, I love coffee, and I would drink my cappuccino with at least 3 sachets of sugar. And if I ever drank coffee without sugar, I would be like, how can someone even drink this? And now if somebody by mistake puts sugar in my coffee, I'm like, how in the world can someone drink this? So I trained myself to let go of certain things which were, I was passionate about, in terms of my eating habits. And that's really the key. Just so I can make it simple for people, staying fit, or making sure that you don't gain weight, is basically what known as the caloric deficit. You have to burn more calories than the calories you take in. Along with working out and exercising, that will maintain your muscular presence, and so you have the muscular mass, and you're good to go. It's not rocket science. It doesn't need doctors and scientists. You don't have to read 700 articles. It's about knowing that you have to let go of certain things, and you have to commit to certain things. You need courage to do so. But when you start seeing results, when you feel good about yourself, then you know that it's worth it. And once you do so, you will know that it's worth it.
Yeah, it does take quite a bit of self-discipline to make this happen. And you did mention courage in there. Why is courage important when it comes to staying fit and healthy?
Because you have so many reasons to give up. You have so many reasons to give up. Everything is basically working against you to some degree. And unless you are brave and courageous enough to confront these reasons, and tackle them head on and continue your discipline, then you will not make it. And so it takes a lot of resolve and determination because some people, they want immediate results. After a couple of months, if they don't see like an immediate change, they're like, this is not working, I'm tired of this, and then they go back to where they were, if not worse than the condition they were in before. And so you need patience. You need to give it some time. Let the ball roll long enough, and let the cycle finish before you start seeing results. Once you see the results, then you know that your efforts have not gone to waste, and that will give you even more courage to continue further. So you have to be persistent in the beginning. You can't give in. You cannot give in.
Yeah, you make a really valid point, because first of all, it takes courage to make a start. And second of all, it takes courage to actually keep going, because the results are not normally that that quick. It takes a bit of time, and you need to learn
Yes.
to persist and keep going, and celebrate those little wins. If you lose a few pounds in a week, you need to learn to celebrate that. But why do you think some people give up? What causes failure in terms of staying on track with your health and fitness goals?
Well, there are many reasons. Some are internal, some are external. Meaning, it could be that the person's inner choices are one where they don't want to continue anymore for psychological reasons, for whatever reasons. And it could be external in the sense that someone can't afford to go to the gym anymore, or their lifestyle changed. Now they have different commitments. So the time that they used to allocate for working out, it doesn't have to be a gym. A person can actually work out at home. They can run, in their neighborhood. But the time they once had may not be available to them anymore. And so it's a number of reasons, internal and external, which may affect a person. And our focus always on the internal ones, because that's what courage is about. The external things are beyond you. You just have to kind of adapt. There's always that adaptation phase. But the internal ones, those are the ones you have control over. People give up because, again, they didn't see results. And when you have set the right expectation, and that is the most important thing, the thing I tell people the most, you have to have the right expectation. Don't expect so much so soon, because if you don't, it will be like disappointing to you. It will make you, depressed. Have low expectation and then exceed them so that you feel good about yourself. Like you said, celebrate them. Don't celebrate them by eating a cake, but celebrate them by working even harder. And that's really what motivates me now, the fact that I see these results. So recently I was pushing your sister on a wheelchair for quite some time. It felt good that I was able to do this for hours, and quite frankly, by God's grace, I wasn't tired. I felt I could go on for another 2 3 hours because I've created, and I have made fit enough for me to be able to enjoy this. For that, I had no choice. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to carry on for more than maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I know I would be out of breath and tired. So these life examples really push you to continue, and be more courageous.
Excellent. That's hilarious. Don't celebrate with the cake. That's a good,
Well, yeah, because
that's a
a lot of
good
people celebrate
takeaway.
by ruining everything they had accomplished.
So how do you celebrate these accomplishments? Because you said, when you see results bit by bit, that actually boosts your courage even more. So how do you celebrate your little wins in terms of health and
Okay,
fitness?
I'll be honest. There is something called cheat meal. And so, yeah, while I said don't eat a cake, it doesn't mean that you will never have a cake again. But the reason why I'm a little reluctant to make that recommendation is because if you haven't done enough work, then that is not the ideal celebration. But I would say after more than a year of you being able to control your eating habits, your discipline, you've trained your body to eat organic, natural food. You stay away from processed food and so on and so forth. At some point, you can start having what they call is what the fitness freaks call a cheat meal, which is once a week you actually eat something that you really like, and it will taste so much better than before because you used to eat burgers all the time, and now this burger is like an award you're getting, so it just tastes like 20 times better than the burger that you had when you were unfit. That is the first way, and the second way is by actually working harder. Like you reach a point when you're so conscious of your health that the thing you enjoy the most is that gym hour or that exercising hour. It actually creates hormones of happiness and satisfaction. And so believe it or not, by working even harder, you celebrate that moment.
Yeah, you actually release these feel good hormones when you exercise, and when you stay fit, you actually feel so much better about yourself,
Yes.
and that will actually push you through. And in terms of building the courage, you mentioned celebrating your wins and so on. Do you have any other strategies to build courage? Is peer support important? What other strategies would you recommend?
Well, the first thing is equipping yourself with the right resources and information. Obviously, the internet is full of contradictions. You could search any subject matter and you will find, 10 of conflicting opinions. And so, making sure that you get your information from a reliable source, prepare yourself from a knowledge point of view, from information point of view to what you're going to go through. And then, yes, find a friend that is already on that note, that is already in that state of mind. That would be the best friend for that phase. It may not be your best friend when it comes to secrets, but that would be your best friend when it comes to you overcoming these difficulties and you being fit. And that person will usually because they are so such freaks about fitness, they will have that kind of impact on you. They will continue to remind you, motivate you, say, come on, I'll come, I'll pick you up, I'll take you, I'll bring you. They always have some activity they're engaging in, some sort of obstacle course that they're making. Those people are often in the loop, they know what's going on. So find a friend that is concerned about their health, and they should be among the useful elements for you to reach that stage.
Yeah, and when you actually with the PAME code, our motto is, let's go together. It's having that other person to share the journey with you, because it can get really difficult sometimes, and it would be easy to give up if you're doing it on your own. But if you have someone else who keeps you accountable and shares the journey with you, it makes it more enjoyable, I guess, and you're accountable to actually stick to what you said you'll do.
Yeah, which reminds me, I just want to add one thing. For example, working out from home. A lot of people they know that once they're on their own, they will get lazy. It's a given. They feel excited when they first buy the equipment, but then a week later it becomes a hanger. Like especially treadmills, people just use them to hang clothes on them. They're almost never used. So sometimes a gym subscription where you pay money would be that key. Now you've paid for it. Sometimes for people who have enough money, even that is not enough. Then they have classes and enroll in a class in the gym. Like for example, I do CrossFit. So I enrolled myself in a class. That class is more of a commitment. Is now I have a trainer who's overlooking my activity, making sure that I'm doing the exercises. So that minimizes, if you have some tendencies to be lazy, the more commitment you give, the more you will be able to follow through. If you leave it up to yourself, you know the results from experience, then make sure that you commit to something stronger than that.
Yeah, so the takeaway message is make your, make a commitment to make that change. Keep yourself accountable and also cherish your little wins.
Yes.
And celebrate those little wins that you have.
Agreed.
Fantastic. Thank you, Wajdi. Now I know you have is it a website or a blog? Where can people find more information about health and fitness? You have One Way to Fitness, don't you?
Yes, I have a Facebook page, One Way to Fitness, the digit one, and then way, WAY, then the digit two, then fitness. And so you can like the page. On that page, just so I can give you a brief, I post videos of different workouts. Sometimes, common exercises that are done incorrectly, highlight how they should be done properly. We also have the different posters, reminders about health facts or quizzes, anything to keep you engaged. And recently we're doing some reviews for certain foods and restaurants, trying to highlight certain areas or restaurants where you can eat healthy. So just to create the consciousness that even when you're going out, there's in the menu things that you can select that are also fit for you, that are helpful for your diet. Because of course that's one of the biggest challenges. So the page is, a combination of all of these. And so there's another one on Instagram, but Facebook I think will be the main destination for your followers.
And you have also discussions there. If people have any questions or comments, they can interact with you there.
Yes, yes. So I'm very active on the page. They leave comments, I will reply, and we can go for a long thread until one of us gives up. The one with the least courage will be the one that gives up. The one with the most courage will continue.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you very much, Wajdi. Really, really appreciate your expertise and your time. Take care of my sister and the kids. I know you're
Yes.
a fantastic father and a really good role model to your kids, teaching them to stay fit and healthy and leading them to this path of healthy living.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thanks, Wajdi. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye, bye.